There are experiments so dangerous, so unsettling, that entire governments erased every trace of their existence, not out of shame, but out of fear. A fear so deep that even the scientists involved refused to speak again. Today, you're going to learn about one of these experiments, an experiment known unofficially as the Forbidden Experiment. This story begins decades ago, inside a research facility hidden far from the public eye. Officially, it didn't exist. The people who worked there didn't exist. And the subjects brought inside? They were referred to only as numbers. According to leaked documents, the facility operated under the code name Project Epsilon. Its goal wasn't medical advancement, or curing disease, or protecting humanity. It had a far more disturbing purpose: to test the limits of human modification, to push the human body and mind beyond what nature allows. At the center of this story is one volunteer, a 27-year-old man whose identity was erased, whose past was wiped clean, and whose existence was reduced to a single letter in the Project S internal logs. Subject H. He didn't join out of curiosity or patriotism. He joined because he needed money. Desperately. Researchers described him as intelligent, cooperative, and emotionally stable. All qualities they believed made him the perfect candidate. They had no idea how wrong they were. The first phase of the experiment involved altering his DNA, not just modifying it, but rewriting parts of it entirely. Scientists injected synthetic DNA fragments never seen in any natural organism. These fragments were designed to enhance sensory perception, accelerate neural processing, and increase cellular regeneration. On paper, it sounded like science fiction. But inside Project Epsilon, fiction wasn't a limit. It was a blueprint. For the first few hours, everything seemed normal. Subject H rested in an isolated chamber, monitored by dozens of sensors, tracking every breath, every heartbeat, every chemical change inside his body. But then the unexpected began. Subtle tremors shook his hands. His pupils dilated far beyond normal. His breathing became irregular. At first, researchers believed it was simply the body adapting. But it wasn't adaptation. It was transformation. The tremors soon intensified. His muscles contracted uncontrollably. He reported flashes of light inside his skull, even in total darkness. He begged the scientists to turn off the lights, even though they already had. Then came the hallucinations, or at least what they thought were hallucinations. Subject H began responding to sounds no one else could hear. He reacted to movements that didn't exist. He stared at corners of the room and whispered to someone who wasn't there. Scientists believed this was a side effect of neural overstimulation. But according to the leaked audio logs, that wasn't his perspective. He claimed he wasn't hallucinating. He insisted he was perceiving layers of reality that humans were not meant to see. He described shapes moving in the periphery of his vision, dark silhouettes shifting silently around him. At one point, he pressed himself against the back wall of the chamber, trembling violently, whispering, "They are observing me. They know I can see them now." Researchers were alarmed, but curiosity outweighed caution. They continued the experiment. Within 24 hours, Subject H stopped sleeping entirely. His brain activity was abnormal, operating at a level that should have caused seizures or unconsciousness. Instead, he remained fully awake, fully aware, and fully terrified. His speech became erratic. He begged to be released. He begged for the experiment to end. But the lead scientists refused. They believed they were witnessing a breakthrough that could redefine biology, even if it destroyed the subject. In the project's final video recording, Subject H sits in the corner of the chamber, knees drawn to his chest, breathing rapidly. His eyes dart wildly around the room as if following invisible movements. Then he begins repeating a single phrase. "They're calling me, but you can't hear them. You can't hear them. You can't hear them. The phrase grows louder, more frantic, more desperate. Moments later, the recording abruptly cuts out. The official log states that Subject H suffered a neurological collapse, but the leaked documents tell a different story. According to one unnamed technician, who later disappeared after releasing the files, something happened inside the chamber that night, something the cameras didn't fully capture, something the researchers refused to describe in detail. The fragment of the technician's confession reads, "Whatever he saw started seeing him back." After that night, Project Epsilon was permanently shut down. Not gradually, not officially, but immediately. Every scientist involved signed a lifetime silence agreement. Their research was confiscated, their hard drives wiped, their equipment burned, the facility was sealed, and Subject H was never heard from again. The only reason we know any of this is because a single encrypted file survived, stolen by a staff member who risked everything to reveal the truth. Years later, the file surfaced on the deep web. It contained audio logs, partial footage, and classified documents confirming that Project Epsilon wasn't just real. It was one of several experiments exploring human modification, reality perception, and what they called non-physical sensory layers. Experts today warn that repeating this experiment could alter human consciousness in ways we cannot understand or control. They argue that there are limits in nature for a reason, and Project Epsilon crossed them recklessly. Whatever Subject H experienced, whatever he saw, whatever he heard, might be something we are not meant to encounter. To this day, no government has acknowledged the existence of Project Epsilon. No researcher has come forward publicly, and no official record of Subject H has ever been found. But the leaked files remain online, circulating among researchers, theorists, and those who believe humanity is on the verge of uncovering something we were never meant to see. If you want more hidden experiments, forbidden research, and dark truths buried by science and governments, subscribe to Deep Mystery Lab. There are stories the world tried to erase, and we're just getting started.